Hi, this is Ed. Welcome to the Out of Light channel. Well, before I go on, I'd just like to thank my patrons for your continued support over my channel. Really just helping it keep on going. So thank you very much for that. Well, the Internet Party in a couple of days now is going to have a very, very special guest, which everyone can watch, showing up to its drafting the anti-spy bill live online. It's very interesting. So who is the mysterious guest that's going to show up, which you can all watch live, the event itself. So let's have a look through this, and maybe we can do some speculations here to the special guest. I don't know. I don't have any information. Never unwrap your Christmas presents before Christmas, so to speak. So let's have a look at this here. Blow this up a little bit here to get a little bit of size there for people on their cell phones. Maybe one more size. Yes. For immediate release. Again, who is the special guest? Well, make sure to tune in. The Internet Party, of course. But before I go on to speculations and reading this, just a real shout out here. Susie Dawson was on H.A. Goodman's show there for a 40-minute interview talking about a lot of very interesting things. Okay, a link to this will of course be placed in the comment section. But one of them, and one of many, one of them that I saw there was the privatization of spying. Now think of this for a moment. Susie Dawson, the leader of the Internet Party here, talking about the privatization of spying. This is very important because think of the same way that private prisons were created, and then what does a private prison system have in its best interest? Well, to increase prisoners, because it increases profit. Now, what does those involved in privatization of spying have in the interest? Well, create spying on more people. Okay, so they're influencing, they make a lot of money, they've got their own lobbyists, they've got their own influencing factors. Once you open the door, they're in there. And I thought that was really interesting. It was a great interview in general by H.A. Goodman, who's an excellent interviewer. And just really a great interview there with Susie Dawson, just really talking about this behind-the-scenes stuff that's going on. I mean, what can you say about the state of things these days? But we have to stay positive. That's why if you're in New Zealand, really do think long and hard about, who you're backing in this. This will be a long-term strategy, of course. Over the years, it'll take a little while. But yeah, these are really important issues. So here's a look here. Special guests. Who are the special guests? Well, I don't know myself. But I will be showing up. I'll be in the comment section there. Live streams don't work that well for me given my connection problems, which has turned into just I don't know what to say. I mean, I've tried to do a number of live interviews. Sometimes they work, but most cases no. So I pre-record my interviews, as you know, on the Outer Dark or things like that. Let's have a look here. For immediate release, August the 2nd, 2017, Internet Party and special guests invite public to draft anti-spy bill live online. So get in there, put out your ideas. Should they have privatization of spying? When did we get to this stage? When did we go from World War II trying to figure out, where the Nazis were taking heavy water supplies or saying to make some nuke? If you don't believe that, they actually were trying to make one, into this territory of just making spying an industry. It's an industry like Google now. You collect all this data on everyone, sell it all off. Goodbye to that old saying, mind your own beeswax. Goodbye to that. Goodbye to leaving your keys in the car. Okay. Goodbye to all of those things. The world has been set up in order to profit off suffering. The Internet Party of New Zealand is inviting Kiwis to participate in a world-first online event to draft citizen-initiated legislation to counter government spying. The event will be held between 8 p.m. and 11 p.m. on Sunday, the 6th of August 2017. This is New Zealand time. If you're from overseas and you want to show up and just listen to what's happening, then that would be about 5 hours. So I usually take 5 hours plus US time. So if that's a Sunday, then you're looking at in the United States, you're looking at Saturday plus 5 hours. So you're looking at about 1 a.m. on Saturday. Okay, that's late for a lot of people, I know it is, but if you want to turn up, you can think about it. Nonetheless, being draft, legislation in real time, very interesting. I will be listening, of course, to that myself. I will be commenting on it as well. Panelists would include surprise international guests. Who is a surprise international guest? Well, who knows? Don't unopen. You've got your Christmas gifts. You have to wait until Christmas to open them, right? So who are the surprise international guests? Could be some very surprising individuals. No doubt, considering this is the internet party, it will be people that know a lot about probably the problems with being spied on and persecuted, who are experts in the field of state and private intelligence gathering practices, violations and mass surveillance, experts in this area. There's so many experts. There's a field to pick upon. Just to let the mystery sort of fill it. It's great. I always love a good mystery. I used to wait literally days for Christmas. Although my family that I grew up in wasn't the most wealthy, but we made do with what we had. It came from a very good, loving home. But I used to wait for Christmas. Used to sit there looking at the present, wondering, is there a little toy train in there or something? And sometimes I really did get what I asked for, although I didn't have a lot of toys as a kid. Was down in the tool shed building stuff. Building stuff with my dad, planing down wood and building all kinds of little inventions. Once finalized, the draft legislation will be submitted to human rights, privacy and political organizations and groups around the world to lobby for its adoption. Great stuff. Dubbed the 2017 #anti-spy bill, the initiative seeks to undo some of the damage to the democratic and human rights inflicted upon New Zealand by the GCSB, countering terrorist fighters and intelligence and security bills. Let's just face it, the spying is out of control right now. Look at the United States, how they dumped a third of all US voters' information online. So, suspiciously on a public link, we were sorry. All your information's now out there. Yes. It's just out of control. It's just out of control. You shouldn't even have to use a VPN. On such a level, everyone has to use a VPN now. Encrypting traffic on that scale, so people can't figure out where the IP comes from. That just should be standard. I'm not saying that you have to go to that level, but I think it's warranted these days. I think there just needs to be something, because obviously there's such a force in keeping these structures in place of mass spying. It's unbelievable. My internet never works. At least goes out 3 or 4 times a week. What can I do about it? Well, not much. Not much. What can I do about it? Not a lot. Internet Party leader Susie Dawson said New Zealand spies in their international compartments have engaged in some of the most outrageous conducts imaginable. Egregious conducts imaginable. From illegally spying on its citizens to engaging with foreign powers to do the same, to reprehensible cases of undercover agents assuming false identities, entrapping activists and targeting unsuspected women for sexual relationships, blackmail, It's all about blackmail. Information is blackmail. They'll try to get anything they can on you. It's just outrageous. The laws passed under urgency in recent years have only furthered the sense of invulnerability of these spies. They also violate international law. We can no longer wait and hope for the government to right these wrongs. Yeah, that's why. You need a vote. If you're in New Zealand, decide for yourselves. I don't like to tell people, but I'm going to be voting for the Internet Party, of course. It's unbelievable. We are on the brink. We're on the brink of really, down. I think we are. We need to completely have people that believe in, the powers of the people, the power that attribute more rights to the people than in these institutions that abuse power. Look what happened to Kim.com. For example, look what happened to Susie Dawson there, having to go to Russia in exile because she was forced out by the spy agencies. These are real things, serious. Look at Kim.com being raided by FBI agents in helicopters. What, because he supports WikiLeaks? I don't know, what can you say? We must show that where our lawmakers fail to do so, the public are willing to step up and address these issues themselves. There are 100 first in, first served tickets to register for the webinar. They grant direct access to panelists. It is possible to participate in the event without registering, as it will be simulcast on official Internet Party Facebook page and YouTube channel. Links to this article, which has the links inside it, will of course be placed in the comments section. So just something to think about. Register for the webinar. I'm going to have to be heading over there. I definitely want to check this out myself. So who is the mystery guest? Who is the mystery guest? Well, we're going to find out who the mystery guest is. It'll be interesting listening to them, because this is a world first, I think. This is a world first, you have all these people, coming together to kind of draft something. Okay? It's like a world first. So we'll see what happens. It'll be interesting. It's Friday here in New Zealand, so still a couple of days away. This is, of course, going down on Sunday, the 6th of August, 11 p.m., between 8 and 11 p.m., roughly around 1 a.m. US time. Okay, if you want to watch that on the live stream on the YouTube channel where it'll be streamed live. So it'll be very interesting. Very interesting indeed. I will, of course, be reporting on this after it happens and giving you all the lowdown on what happened. Of course, Kim.com here, been posting quite a lot about it, the fact he was illegally surveilled by these abusive power structures that just will not leave people alone anymore. Why would they leave people alone? Why is it every time I get a package from overseas or something, I buy something, with the little fragments of money I earn, it's always opened. I don't even know if I have to open it up and, what are they doing to it? Why are they always opening our packages these days? Okay, why are they always in our business? You get an extension in power and it just continues. It has a trajectory until you're in that parable I keep on quoting about how to catch wild pigs or wild animals, right? How do you do that? Well, you build a fence one way, you throw the grain in the middle, they will eat the grain, they become climatized to one side of the fence. Then the next thing, there's another side of the fence. They become acclimatized to that. Oh, yes, we need these new spy powers. Okay, and then there's another side of the fence. And sooner or later, you've got all the side of the fences and the gates open. And just like normal, the farmer stands there, the wild pigs come in, walks around to the gate and shuts it. Okay, and then there's nothing you can do. You're trapped. You're not a bird that escaped some cage anymore that's standing in the rain, on some branch saying, well, at least I'm not in a cage anymore. It's raining, the sky is grey, but I'm not in a cage anymore. No, it's the reverse of that. The sky is grey, you're in a cage. There's not really anything you can do unless you dream about escaping somewhere. And who has the money to do that? You know, everyone's dream, go off to the golden fields, you know, like on some kind of hill there, live the simple life, so to speak. You know, everyone's got the dream. Let's keep it real. Everyone's got that kind of dream of just being left alone, having a nice life, watch the sun come down, you know, and freshwater streams and green environment and beauty in the environment, you know, the utopian kind of ideal. Well, you know, we're a long way from that, you know, and each step towards making things better comes down to, I think, simple things I commented the other day. Get rid of the bad and promote the good. And if you do that on a simple scale, you get more good things than you do bad things. Don't need to be some PhD to figure it out. You know, we're taught it when we're young. You do good, you know, and you have more good things in the world. In the meantime, go on and do your own research into all this. You can figure out the dates and times. Links to this will, of course, be placed in the comments section. Make sure to check out this this video interview here by AJ Goodman. Really excellent lowdown there on what is all happening. And Susie Dawson goes into this in detail. So put a link to this and, of course, this in the comments section. In the meantime, this is Ed from The Outer Light. This is my last video for tonight. I'm tired of YouTube messing with my videos. What can I do about it? I'll vote Internet Party and maybe one day. In the meantime, this is Ed from The Outer Light. Stay safe, and I'll see you all later.